So I'm making this video today about something that's bothered me a lot, and that's how most people are taught how to formation fly. Let me explain to you what I mean. So most people, when they're taught how to play formation or fly formation, is they're taught you put them in a block, something like this. Nice little square, keep them all tight, so everybody's within range one of the howl runner. That's the most important thing, right? We're all familiar with this. This causes a lot of collisions when you're trying to bank using the same maneuver. To prevent this, we're usually taught to use different maneuvers for outside and inside flyers. Do the 2-bank for the inside guy and the 3-bank for the outside guy. This usually works if you're pretty skilled at it. You start losing your line up a little bit, that's okay. The problem is TIE fighters only have these 2 banks. You can only do this maneuver. It basically makes your once nimble TIE fighter about as sluggish as a Lambda shuttle. So I talked to my dad about this. He was a fighter pilot in the Marine Corps, flew the F-18 Hornet, and I asked him about formation flying. What do you do in combat? He said you would never want to fly your formation like this because who are you going to guide off of? Who's going to be, who's in front? Who's leading? You need to know who is leading in a formation so that you can measure off of them. He recommended flying a more realistic formation. I'll show you like that. The typical Delta formation. This puts a lead pilot along with everyone else flying in line. And this turns out to work a lot better when trying to maneuver. For instance, I can have everybody perform the 2-bank. Like, well, aren't they going to overlap? No, they're not. They're actually now going to be spaced out. Still in formation. Absolutely no problem with collisions. Everybody gets their action. Nothing bad happens. You might say, Captain, what about the all-important keeping these guys in a smaller bunch so that Howl Runner can trigger? You'll notice here that my ties are still all within range 1 of each other, with a good amount of overlap to be safe. Now you'll notice something very interesting about this formation. How far apart are these guys? It's about half a range or half a maneuver away from each other. You begin to realize that when you are doing this rotating by 45-degree angles, they give themselves, instead of seeing these guys as squares, you see them as little circles where the radius is up to the corner here, to the center of the ship. And this gives you enough room to maneuver without having to worry about colliding your buddy, but also keeps you in the closest maximum packing so that you can keep everybody within range of our lovely little Howl Runner here. Now there are several setups to get this the Delta formation to work. You can have a diamond, for instance, and this one is nice because as you rotate around the board, they will stay in this nice diamond and or square configuration, allowing you to keep equidistant, basically like a oversized ship, but still with the maneuverability of a TIE fighter. Another method, we already saw me flying that standard Delta formation with everybody flying out that way. You can also break this up into smaller groups, and I've used this very effectively, where you have each pilot and their wingman, but I'm still able to get these groups, these separate squads together to get Howl Runner's ability, or to peel them off to engage a different target. You can do that. For instance, I'm going to show you one of my setups. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something new, especially about formation flying and some of the real world techniques that can affect the game of X-Wing. And as always, fly safe out there.